the channel and happy 2023. So LeEdFollow moves over into a new year and now we are going into 4K. So Ed's always had 4K equipment. I've been lagging a little bit behind, unfortunately, with some of my older, crappier GoPros and things. But I got a new iPhone, got a new GoPro Hero 11, and now that I've caught up with his hardware, we're going to move up to 4K for all of our videos going forward now. And yeah, the MR2 is actually with the welders at the moment. We actually ended up with about 4 different holes he needs to weld up. So just need to give him time to do those. It might take like a week or so. But I thought with the time we've got now waiting for the MR2 to get back here and Ed just finishing off his videos on his new stuff, I thought I'd take you through some of the new shiny things that have just turned up here for the MR2. So welcome to a very busy, overfilled garage. Lots of new stuff that's turned up. So let me just quickly take you through what I've got. So, suspension. Let's start with these new front wishbones. Reason I went for new ones is that it's actually a lot cheaper to get new ones than to replace the ball joints and the front bushes. These are actually Mevotech arms. I've heard pretty good things about these, and they were pretty cheap from the States. They're usually about £150 per arm, but I managed to somehow get a special deal and I got both arms for 200 quid, which is an absolute steal. And then if we move on to the suspension top mounts, just K-Arbor ones, got a couple of fronts and a couple of rears. These were pretty cheap off eBay. And then we've got some K-Arbor XLG shocks, gas-filled. Usually quite a bit lighter than the factory Toyota oil-filled shocks, but what we're going to do is, as we remove the old stuff, we'll weigh it against the new stuff as we fit it, which will be good. Sticking with suspension, here we go. I've got some new dust boots, which are very nice. These came from MR2 Ben, who's probably a very well-known supplier on the MR2 forums, but the original rubber boots that I've got on the car are all falling to pieces. I'm pretty sure that the suspension I've got is the original factory suspension. The car's just ticked over 100,000, and from what I've read online, 100,000 is pretty much where all of your suspension is ruined on an MR2. It needs to be swapped out, so I think I'm replacing this at just the right time. Okay, and we discussed the white line ARBs in one of my older videos, but what I want to show you here is the shiny new Cusco braces that I got from Japan. So I think that's the rear one, and then underneath, the slightly longer one is for the front. But those are always lovely things, Cusco parts. I love Cusco parts. They're just so damn expensive, but luckily these are quite cheap. Even once I included the import taxes, they were actually really quite affordable. In this box, I have the Cusco centre brace, which you can see in there. So that just goes under the, well, I was going to say transmission tunnel, but there is no transmission in there. But the tunnel that goes down the middle of the car, there is some very small Toyota factory braces in there, but this is a much thicker, longer item. That in combination with the braces should make the car noticeably much stiffer. Okay, so I've got some braided lines. I think these are from Matt Lewis Racing, if I'm not mistaken. These are quite nice. And then I've also got a braided clutch hose, which is surprisingly long. I guess, well, it makes sense. It has to come from the pedal at the front all the way to the gearbox at the back. This is the first time I've done one of these on a mid-engined car, so it's unusual to see a braided clutch hose this long, but makes total sense now, come to think about it. Okay, next box. More shiny bits. These are my MTech dimpled grooved discs. We had a lot of conversation on the forums about whether these grooves actually do anything or not. I guess it all depends on how you drive, what your car is, how it's set up, and what pads you're using, really. I mean, me personally, I believe I can tell the difference going from totally flat-faced discs to these grooved ones. Not just the noise, because they're scraping the pads as you go around, but also just how they continue to consistently keep the same kind of bite as they get hotter out on track. I just find that as you do more and more laps on flat-faced discs, they tend to just start to start to disappear, the actual braking force. But these ones, grooved, I just find that they kind of just keep the biting force for longer. But we'll see, we'll see. The MR2 is a totally unknown quantity for me, so a lot of the things that work maybe on the GT86, being a front-engined car, may not work exactly the same on the MR2. So it's a total test bed, this car. Let's see how we go, and if these discs turn out to be crap, we'll just replace them with some new ones. Same goes for the pads, actually. I mean, I bought yellow stuff for the front and the rear just because I thought they would be a pretty decent starting point. You hear mixed reviews on yellow stuff. Some people say they melt on track days, and some people say they're perfectly fine. They get a few track days out of them. I know that EBC do tend to change the compounds over time, so that could explain that, or it could just be the difference of how people drive or how their cars are set up. But we'll stick these on. Again, like the discs, it's a starting point. We'll see how we go, and if any of this stuff turns out to be crap, we'll just stick it in the bin, and we'll spend the extra and we'll go up to something like PBS or Carbotech or something like that. All this stuff, of course, it adds weight to the car, things like the braces that weren't originally there from the factory. So I'm going to have to weigh everything as we go, keep tabs on exactly how much weight I'm saving with some parts and how much I'm adding with things like the braces, and then try to stay under the original factory weight if I can. So yeah, not a lot to report. Brand new year though, and me and Ed are really optimistic about the future of LeEdFollow. We've got so many fantastic things planned for this year, which I think you're all going to love. But let's let you in on a few little secrets about what you can expect in 2023. So, February, me and Ed are going to Brands Hatch to do Indy Circuit, something that neither of us have actually, for some reason, never got around to actually doing. So that's going to be great. It's going to be the first track day for Ed's new track car, which he can reveal to you once he's done the video. I won't spoil it. And for my MR2 Roadster. So that'll be great. Stay tuned for that. And then going forward into May, you may remember my friend Alan from the Hawkston video. Well, me and him are going to be flying out to visit our friend Dave, who lives in Denver, Colorado. And Dave's actually kind of like the silent third member of LeEdFollow. He's actually a professional musician. He does all the music for the LeEdFollow channel, and he's done some fantastic stuff for us to use in the future. And we've all got motorcycle licenses, so the plan is that we're going to rent something like Harley Davidsons, and we're going to drive up to the top of Pikes Peak, which is going to be fantastic. We can get some great footage, like a GoPro, head-mounted or chest-mounted. Be a perfect time of year to go up there. Going to get some great scenery. And we're going to do some supercar shows, some car meet, and it's going to be a great time to go out. There are a lot of automotive related shows and things on that time of year, so it's going to make for some great video. And then later on this year, Ed and I were planning on going to Spa, but for various reasons we've knocked that on the head. What we're going to do is our annual Nürburgring trip. We're going to actually extend it, and we're going to drive over the Alps. We're going to go to the San Bernardino Pass and the Stelvio Pass. I've done those before, but it was in a crappy hire car, so it's going to be great to take our own cars. And then we're going to push on, and we're going to do the Großglockner, which we've recently seen on Top Gear. Fantastic looking road, really want to tick it off. So those three in a single trip, plus the Nürburgring, probably stop and do some laps on the way and some laps on the way back. It's going to be a fantastic trip. So yeah, that's the tip of the iceberg. We've got lots of other stuff planned. And the Clarkson Brewery video that I was mentioning earlier with Alan, that's just gone mental. We've got like 41,000 views of that. So that's really helping to get our channel out there and hit the algorithm and get us promoted on YouTube. So fantastic stuff. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And please stay tuned so you can follow us on all the cool stuff we've got going on this year. Take care. See you later.